All right, guys. I am normally play through the League's Cup. However, I've had quite a few things going on. I've been simming for roughly about a month at a time because I've noticed that I get a lot of transfer offers for my players, and in order to keep them happy, I need to at least be able to try to change the deal. That way they don't get mad and I come back after a sim and I have poor players that are very unhappy and want to leave the club. So I was doing that, and this kid didn't pop up in my scout report. I scouted him. Now, you know how you get the top 50 next gen top 50 kids across the world? Well, this kid was like number in the 20s to 30s, I believe. And I scouted maybe 25 of them because some of them there's no way I could afford them anyway, because of the club they're coming from. But this kid, I can't believe it. I got him on a free. I didn't have to pay a penny for him. His contract expires. He's showing up. Yep, it expires in December of 24 this year. And I had so many players that wanted him, or so many teams that wanted him, but nobody made an offer. And I bet you I had an offer on the table for him for over a month. And I'm like, I'm not going to get him. I am not going to get him. And I'll be darned if I didn't get him. He's going to be on a DP contract, a young designated player contract, which, if you look, I have 3 players currently on a designated player contract: Vitek, Gullikson, and Peretz. Now, remember, when we signed Peretz, I had Mansverk on a DP contract. But you are allowed in the MLS to buy down one DP contract and turn it into a senior. Now, there's a lot of problems with that, and I don't want to go into it on this channel. On this episode in this series. But let's just say that it will cause problems with your allocation funds in the future. Now, this guy here threw a fit because he wanted a new contract. But as you can see now, it's gone. I actually signed him to a DP contract. He wanted over $1 million a year, which I have the payroll. That's not the issue. The issue's always been the slots. You're only allowed 3 DPs a year. That's it. And so it was a mess. But I was able to, the last time he signed his initial contract, and he threw a conniption fit about the release clause. He wanted like a $3 million release clause. And I'm like, heck no. So in order to increase it, I actually ended up paying him more than what he actually wanted. He only wanted like 300-something thousand to play. And I ended up getting a huge release clause. And I'm like, holy crap, a $10.5 million release clause. Well, when you have Saudi clubs come in for your players, they tend to overpay. And I ended up selling him. I didn't want to. I had, oh my gosh, Juventus, Tottenham, Milan. I had the Wolves, and then I had Saudi clubs come in for him. I was able to, bide my time, and luckily he didn't throw a fit. Now, there's a little trick that I learned, and I don't know if it's just coincidence or luck. But if you don't reject offer and you let them withdraw it, your players don't get mad. At least for me, in this state. I've had 5 offers that have been withdrawn while I was simming, and they have not been upset about it at all. Now, if you reject it, then that's when they get mad and that's when they get upset. And I don't know what I did wrong in a sim earlier, but I had a lot of players unhappy with me. Luckily, Mansverk wasn't one of them. So that's what happens. Cornell was one from last season, so I unticked some check boxes and did a few extra things whenever I sim now or go on vacation, holiday. And so it comes up to me, and I noticed that if the offer's withdrawn, your players don't get mad because you're not outright rejecting it. I guess it looks like the club said, we're not interested anymore, and they pull away that withdrawal. And the thing I noticed about that, if you reject the offer, sometimes they're still interested and they keep coming back for offers with you. But if you let it withdraw, then their interest goes away. So that's really helped me with him. But once the Saudi clubs came in, one of them offered, $10.5 million for the release clause, and there's nothing you could do, Well, then I had who is it? Al Kaddish came in. He's had tons of offers. I don't know, 6 or 7 offers for him from different clubs. But then they come in and they offered me $11 million. And I'm like, holy moly, that's over the release clause. And maybe they thought because they're Damac or Darnak or whoever it was, they were the ones offering the release clause. So I ended up getting them up to 12. Why not? Now the MLS is going to take their cut, but I'm still going to get a good chunk of my transfer budget. And the cool thing, okay, it says I get 100% of the transfer funds up to $79 million. So that's cool. Now, keep in mind that for every transfer, the MLS gets their cut. All right? And where is it at? Okay, right here. Due to MLS rules when selling players abroad, 50% of the agreed transfer fee corresponding to $115,000 has been paid to the league following, he was on loan at Shamrock Rovers, and he had an optional buyout fee. And they took it. He started every game for them, and they're in the Europa League next year. So, they wanted to buy him, and I wanted to get rid of him. So it worked out for me. Now, the only problem is, in real life, the MLS doesn't take 50%. They can, but with homegrown players, and he was homegrown, they don't take the 50%. Now, in real life, the MLS changed their rule during the 24 season that they only take 5% of transfer fees now. Only 5%. So I'm hoping in Football Manager 25, they will have 5% transfer fee. And for the MLS, because I've had up to 67%. It's just ridiculous. And it's very frustrating. But I wanted to show you that this kid, the first actual Wonderkid in the media description has him as a Wonderkid that I have ever signed in an MLS. Don't get me wrong, I've signed really, really talented youngsters, but never one that had the media description of Wonderkid. And I'm over the moon. I'm just excited. And once again, the reason I signed him was because I had we're going to go through this real quick. All right. At one point, Klamala had interest outside the MLS. All right. He didn't. He did. Spendy, he always seems to have interest. And Kavik. So, that's what it is. But I signed that kid because Gullikson can play in Mansburg's position. And so that frees up this kid to play left winger where he wants to play anyway. So I'm ecstatic about that. Now, the only problem I'm going to have for next year is this kid. Next year, he's on a contract, and I'm over the moon. I got him too. I was just like, whoa. I can't believe I actually was able to sign him. But he is going to be a regular starter, and I got him on a free too. Into contract. I'm telling you, man, if you get your scouts up and going and you find them into contract sales like that, and, if you're the first one to jump on them, there's a chance that they will sign for you, because once again, with Messi coming to MLS in real life, it's really played a stronger role in getting youngsters here. I mean, talented youngsters. We've always gotten the South Americans and Latin American kids here. That's never been a problem. It's the Europeans. That's what I'm happy to see them coming here. But he's on a senior contract, and I'm happy with that. So, didn't even have to use the under 22. I still have an under 22, and there's another kid I am trying to sign that was on the top 50 list, but he's still too young. He's 16, so he's not wanting to leave yet. So he's on my list, but I'm just so excited. But he's going to be a starter next year. So that means that Spendy can move back to striker. So that means that Klamala, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He is still a really good player. But he's pretty much maxed out. He's pretty much maxed out. He's not going to get any worth much more. All right. So, because especially when it narrows it down to that within 600,000, that's pretty much, a done deal. He's not going to get any better than what he is now. All right. So I'm most likely going to try to sell him or trade him because he does have that green card now. So if that happens, I will move this kid and take back where he was at over here, and everything would be good. Now I have signed a lot of youngsters, and they're in my B team, and they're all over the place on loan. A lot of them are just for profit, but a couple of them are going to sneak in, and I will talk about that at the next season beginning on when I get my squad ready. But I just wanted to show you that I'm very excited about that. That kid coming in, I could not believe it. And oh yeah, I signed a new contract. $1,158,000 per year. I honestly didn't even, that they just accepted it when I was simming. But what can I say? All right, now also, you might as well look. Everybody is so happy with me. I don't know what these trades are. I truly don't. But it doesn't matter to me. And the supporters are happy. They were unhappy that, Morgan left and Lukinas left. But you know what? They get over things when you win. It's really funny. So, and then everything that I've asked for so far, they've given me. So I'm very excited. All I pretty much have asked for is, scouts allowed, coaching courses for my staff. Oh, that reminds me. I have a new assistant coach. My old coach left. He went to Germany. I can't remember what club it was, but he left. But this guy's better anyway, and he costs just a little bit less. So I was very happy to get him. But yeah, your coaches leave. I have a lot of contracts expiring on my staff, and I'm not even worried about renewing them because there's better ones out there, like fitness coaches. All right, let me see. 24. Like Adam, he's a decent, don't get me wrong, he's decent, but his fitness is 15. There's 20, free agents at fitness is 20. So, and on fitness, I could care less if they have adaptation, determination. I don't care. They're a fitness coach. It's not like they have to be very good at much. Really. So, everybody that's leaving, I have replacements lined up already and shortlisted, so I will be getting them. But yeah, I keep asking for more scouts. So these are my scouts, and I made a video of that I am going to post on my Patreon, which is new, so I'm excited about that. But anyway, let's look at the schedule. I've talked long enough. All right, as you can see, we're doing really, really well. The League's Cup starts after Chicago game. The League's Cup starts in here, so I'm going to just sim through all of that, and I will be back pretty much at the end of the season. So it's going to be exciting. What the heck is this Campanoni's Cup anyway? That's something I have never heard of. Oh. I guess I'll have to look that one up. I have never heard of this cup, which is weird. I've never heard of that. That's interesting. All right, competition rules. Number of teams 2. So maybe it's the oh, I know why. It's the winner of Mexican and then the Liga MX and the winner of the MLS, I bet you. That's crazy. Huh. All right. I wonder if there's any prize money. I don't see it. But oh well, that's fine. Terracing is permitted. That's hilarious. All right. But anyhow, we're in first place again. We've actually, the first team to make the playoffs. We're in first place in the Supporter Shield. So, this simming has gone really, really well for me. And I'm very happy. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it. This is a little bit longer than what I wanted. But I wanted to show you how happy I was to get my very first Wonderkid. I'm over the moon with this, and he is quick, and he has great stats, and it's just going to be exciting. So anyway, now, if I could keep him for more than a year, that's the problem. I doubt it. And he didn't even want a release clause, and that makes me happy. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you at the next episode.